Local 3 News. That's coverage you can count on in your town.
We have certainly had a rainy summer. There are no two ways around that. And if you are among the many folks here in the area who have a crawl space at your home, there's a reasonable chance that perhaps you've noticed a little bit of water, at least some dampness down there in that crawl space. So lucky for you, we have the folks from AFS on the show with us this morning in the form of James Such, who is going to give us kind of some how-tos about the crawl space for sure, but also some warning signs to look for inside your home. That might be some indicators. Is that right, James, of some problems?
That is right.
I think I'm right in saying that an awful lot of people in our area, though, have crawl spaces.
That is correct. That is correct.
Does a crawl space bring a different set of challenges, if you will, than a full basement?
Certainly they both have their own challenges, but a crawl space specifically, you're dealing with a lot of organic material, specifically the lumber that the house is sitting upon. So without a controlled environment, you certainly see you can have a lot of symptoms in your home, including it's just muggy on the inside, it's uncomfortable. You might have some bouncy, uneven floors. Your doors will be sticking and rubbing, they won't close. Yeah, there's a lot of symptoms that you can see.
So those things you're talking about, we'll go with the sticking doors for a minute. Will that situation be continuous, or is it sometimes something where if it's excessively rainy or muggy, it might show up and then it can go away?
No, it pretty much sticks around.
Okay.
And that is indicative of an even worse symptom, and that's just your floor framing system is absorbing all that moisture and it's flexing, and overall over time it's going to be degrading. So without the proper environment control in your crawl space, you can certainly see that it will get exponentially worse.
Okay, so you used a pretty important 2 words, environment control. Are there different ways? I know y'all are known for the encapsulations that you do. Are there different ways to control that environment besides the encapsulation, or is that the granddaddy fix?
It's pretty much the granddaddy fix. We have tried and true install processes, and it's pretty much the way to go. Because if you're not properly containing that environment with the right materials and the right equipment, certainly you can compound the issues in your crawl space.
Okay, so I asked him earlier before we got on air, I said, will days like this be a real busy one for you because we've had all this rain? And he said, no, I don't think so. And I was very surprised by your answer. So I asked it again, and you answered the same way again. And you said, no, because for our customers who use our products, it's such a good setup, they won't have any issues. My question had been about the people who don't have your products. And so then you said, yeah, probably we will get a lot of calls.
That's right. With this excessive rainfall, especially with how dry it's been during the early summer, with the expansion and the contraction of the soil is going to let that water create even more avenues to get into your home and your crawl space.
Okay, so for those folks who are not currently AFS customers and they've got that old 1974 crawl space down there and it's a problem, would you have to come first, I guess, obviously, and assess the situation, but often do you have to kind of repair some issues that are existing prior to encapsulating it?
Sometimes it just depends on the environment that we're working in, but I would say most of the time that we get in there, we can usually fix it ourselves.
Okay.
We are also doing wood replacement now. So if there is any degradation to the lumber or the floor framing system, we're able to, we have carpenters on staff to where we can repair that before the encapsulation system.
You can do it all in-house?
Yes, ma'am.
What about if you don't have a crawl space and you have a basement? Do you still need to be concerned with a full basement?
Absolutely. A basement is definitely susceptible to any water intrusions or any moisture issues as well, especially if it's sitting underground. With the hydrostatic pressure, that moisture could be leaching through the block. And same thing if your house is on a crawl space. It can feel muggy, you can have mold, you can have degradation in the building materials as well. If you have wet spots on your baseboards, your drywall, certainly those are other symptoms that you have a water issue in the basement.
You had mentioned to me about potentially seeing some cracks in the wall, right?
That is correct.
So let's just pretend for a minute that you have a 2-story house. Will you necessarily see a crack in the wall that's an indicator of a structural issue basement related, on the first floor before you see it on the second floor, or can it show up anywhere?
You'll usually, the warning signs usually happen up on the first floor.
Okay,
And
which
then,
makes sense.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, and then the indications, it'll go from the ground up.
Okay. In terms of getting in touch with you and having somebody come out if they're having any concerns, they want to find out about it, do y'all do free inspections or free assessments?
Yes, ma'am.
Consultations?
Yeah, free, no obligation inspections to you. And they do a full home inspection, and that is inside and out, and also roof water management systems as well, your gutter systems. So we want to make sure that we give you the full repair.
And you did mention a 4-letter word, which is mold, and that's big around here. So it's not just the structure of the home that you're protecting, but also the air you're breathing.
That's correct. You know, certainly our priority is not just the health of the home, but the health of our clients as well.
All right, James, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Here's how you can get in touch with him and the full team at AFS. They're right here in Soddy Daisy. The phone number 537-6644, afsrepair.com. And even though their headquarters are there in Soddy Daisy, pretty much your home is going to become their office. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I got hurt in a car wreck and the insurance company's trying to take advantage of me.
Don't get burned by the insurance company. Fight fire with fire and call the Insider.